Hey, this is going to be the probably the final version of this build that I'm going to make for this league. This is my power stacking discharge player who stole my shoes. I'll probably put about 400 divines now into this build. I'm pretty happy with where it's at. Got we've gone down the route of power charge stacking with the badge of the Brotherhood, as well as using muscle form, so we can get all our charges to be based off of just power charges. Can see that I'm at 14 all charges now. Right now, you get 3 from the tree. You got 3 from base. I get 1 from my weapon here, 2 from my shield. I've got a synthesized ring, which is mirrored for 2 more here, and then 2 from the helmet with the corrupt and the warlords mod, and I've got 1 from this lovely relic. You can get up to 15 if you want to put in a sublime vision, get really big AoE, but it's not worth it for me at the moment because you lose out on all your other auras. But it could be fun. You get really big discharge. Good for showing off, but I haven't been able to work it in properly yet. So I'll just go over this build quickly so you can see I've got Pain Attunement on my relic here to save some points in pathing, so we don't have to go all the way down here. We're also using one of these Militant Faith so that we can anoint the Inner Conviction Keystone, and even though that says gain power charges instead of frenzies, because we're abusing minimum mechanics, we're able to still generate our frenzies through that. So we get this huge amount of more damage here, and we also get more damage from being on low life, which is really big. We also use 3 very similar clusters that have Prismatic Heart and Sadist, and then just 2 dual sockets so we can get as much multi as possible. We've got some gloves with some damage on, so we've got that implicit mod which gives us a damage per frenzy that effectively will be saying 70% increased damage, and then because we're applying ailments, we're going to be getting that shield line as well for 130% damage on our gloves, which is a lot, as well as the flask. But yeah, to sum up our build's damage, we get our charges, we discharge once, that applies all ailments to whoever we're hitting, because we're hitting for so much damage in all types. We're going to apply full ailments to everything. The damage is absolutely crazy. I think from POB we hit for about 90 mil first hit with nothing up, and then once we've applied everything, once we've got our Trinity going, once we've got our Val RF on and our RF and all our flasks, we can hit up to about 260 mil per hit, which is a lot. For defenses for this build, I do have a lot of max res, or a fair bit of max res. I have not gotten spell suppress. That would be the next version of this build, but I'm not going to make it this league at least. I've got chaos res cap. I've got fortify from the forbidden flesh, so I've taken the champion node to give me fortify. And then we've got 14 endurance charges. It's enormous. This not only gives us fizz reduction, it also gives us a huge amount of regen. You can see in my tab, I've got 2,300 energy shield regen. That's because I've taken Zealot's Oath, so that I can put my ES on my life, and I can still use stuff like RF and still run around the map on effectively a lot of HP. And then I'm able to use mana to get stuff like Arcane Surge for huge damage. You just have to make sure, keep up your charges. For movement speed, like we don't have any boots, but we're still, you can see we're still kind of zooming around here. We have Rock Gut, and because we're able to generate so many charges, we can just click the Rock Gut and we get 42 seconds of onslaught, which is 20% movement speed, 20% cast speed. Feels great. And then when we use our body for our movement speed with our frenzy charges, we're moving at like 100 or 100-ish movement speed with no flask up, flying around. You can see we've got flame dash, shield charge, and then rock gives you some movement speed as well when you click it. So you're pretty speedy considering you don't have any boots on. Yeah, I think that's kind of like it for all of these. I've got a phasing flask so I can feel a little bit better. I've got an exposed flask. I've got an series for chaos. I've got the rock cut, and then I've got this as well. And this is because although we are ailment immune, so in our defenses we're going to avoid all the ailments using a storm shroud with the mods from the searching eye jewels. You can see here there's the avoid shock mod, and then on my Obsidian I've also got the implicit and the explicit mods so that we total over 100, and that way I can get ailment capped with 2 jewels on my belt. That means I don't have to worry about the downside from the shield, as well as just you don't have to deal with ailments. The only one you got to care about is bleeding. Bleeding messes this build up pretty bad, so make sure you have anti-bleed on a flask, or you can get on a ring if you're lucky or need it. I use this for ages. It's fine. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. All my other jewels are going to be either quad multi or triple multi, so expensive, definitely non-needed. I just got lucky kind of rolling these, rolling a lot of them now. And yeah, like with pathing, we've got rares, we've got life. Like I've got this, but at the moment I'm not even running determination. Running a discipline, so you probably don't even need that. And just pathing all the way up to get all your power charges, anointing the other one on your amulet, and then just putting in 3 clusters. So yeah, that's kind of the build. Usually with discharge builds, you have to use something like a Farrell's Fur or power charge on crit, or stacking up quality of the alternate quality discharge that says don't consume charges so that you can play the game normally. But this build doesn't really do any of that. Instead, we use these boots to generate all our charges. And at first it's not clear how this would work. But when these boots are in a disabled state and you weapon swap, the game kind of like assumes that you're stationary, gives you your charges, and it's all fine. So we're able to just click our weapon swap key with them disabled and just get all our charges whenever we want. So the way I would put them in is I have my boots here with a gem that I can't normally use. You can see my dex is 104. I put on just whatever, an item that has dex. And then I can just click in my boots. They're now disabled, now shoeless. And I can just weapon swap even when I'm moving around to get full charges. That is the tech.
My only consolation is that I am not alone.